Okay, so good day po taong bayan. We're back for our second video for the night at ngayon papag-usapan naman po natin yung issue sa Senate. Okay, so currently, di ba, meron pong Blue Ribbon hearings dun sa flood control issue and then yung pinaka-last development po dun, nag-testify si Sergeant Orly Gutesa kung saan pinangalanan niya na sila Speaker Martin Romualdez and then may mga sinabi rin po siyang mga Aguada Street dun tapos biglang inatake yung notaryo. And anyway po, kung gusto nyo mas maintindihan yung notaryo issue, meron din po akong video for that, so panoorin nyo lang po yun. Pero going back po, after ng notaryo issue na yon, yung mga senators po, specifically si Senator JV, yung medyo nagpaparinig-rinig sa media bigla. Like ito po, sinabi niya, "It's not only me. Around 5 of us thought of being independent." Diba? At yung rason daw niya, the focus should be on the real culprits of the modus scheme, but it seems to be getting lost there. Okay? So kung titingnan po natin yung comments si Senator JV, ang sabi niya, the focus should be on the real culprits. Diba? So parang similar po dun sa message din ni Senator Chis Escudero. Okay? So anyway po, ngayon i-discuss ko sa inyo yung mga posibleng mangyari sa Senate this tomorrow po siguro or later on this week. Okay? So anyway, start po tayo sa discussion. So yung pinaka-facts po ng discussion natin is unang-una po, this stemmed or nagsimula po to dun sa last Blue Ribbon hearing involving si Sergeant Orly Gutesa kasi after po nun hindi na nagka-Blue Ribbon hearing. Tapos supposedly this week meron din dapat kaso kinancel na rin po nila Senator Ping Lacson and prior to that cancellation po nila Senator Ping nung Blue Ribbon hearing, ito na nga yung nangyari, nagpaparinig-rinig na po sila Senator JV na not only me but around 5 thought of being independent. Okay? So anyway po, after nito, yun nga, ang nangyari next dyan is this one, Blue Ribbon hearing canceled and then, eto, basahin nyo na lang kung ano yung rason dyan. Makikita nyo po to sa Facebook page ko. Okay, so nagkaroon ng cancellation ulit ng Blue Ribbon hearing this week and then yung pinakabagong development po after this one, naglabas bigla ngayon ng statement si Senator Ping Lacson na magbibitiw na siya as chairman ng Blue Ribbon Committee, di ba? Hindi man chairman ng Blue Ribbon, tuloy ang laban ni Senator Ping Lacson kontra katiwalian. So I'm guessing this is now the official resignation of Senator Ping from the Blue Ribbon. This was posted 2 hours ago lang po today, October 5, 2025, Sunday. So yan po yung pinaka-facts, okay? So number 1, tandaan natin, after Sergeant Orly Gutesa's Blue Ribbon testimony, natigil lahat. Then si Senator JV, nag-press con na, nagpa-interview na sa media. And then number 3, kinancel yung Blue Ribbon hearings. Kahapon lang po yun, kagabi actually. And then today, Sunday, nagkaroon ng resignation from Senator Ping Lacson from the Blue Ribbon hearing. Okay, so yan po yung pinaka-facts ng magiging discussion natin. At ang sagot po dyan is yes, pwede po yan palitan ng Senate yung leadership nila at any time as long as they have the majority vote. Ganyan lang po yan yung process talaga sa Senate pati sa House of Representatives. Kung gusto palitan, pwede lang po yan mag-motion to declare vacant the seats and then magbobotohan sila at mag-election kung sino yung magiging Senate President. So despite the short term pa lang ni Senate President Tito Soto, pwede po yan siya ulit palitan assuming makuha na ngayon ng minority yung majority. Okay, so wala pong prohibition na ganyan sa Constitution kahit na po weekly pa yan sila talaga magpalit. Pero ang issue lang po sa ganyan, kung palit ng Senate leadership in a very short span of time, of course, ang maapektuhan po dyan is yung trabaho na ginagawa nila sa Senado kasi magkakaroon yan ng transition phases sa change of leadership na naman. Tapos maglilipat na naman po yan ng mga gamit, ng mga staff. So kaya ko po nasabing maglilipat ng gamit kasi sa House po, merong specific office na Speaker's Office talaga. So I'm assuming sa Senate, meron din po sigurong Senate President's Office, although hindi ko fully masabi kasi hindi po ako nakabisita during my time in Congress. So anyway po, ang point ko lang, ang dami pong mga transition phase, diba? From maglilipat pa lang ng mga gamit, ng mga files, ng furniture, and then of course yung mga close-in staff din po niya ng mga senator, dadalhin din po nila yan dun sa bago nilang leadership position. So yung mga dating nakaupo dun, na co-terminus with the Senate President, tatanggalin yun, papalitan ng bago. So yan lang po yung magiging dilemma talaga niyan kung palit ng leadership ng House natin sa Congress. There will be a delay in the work done lang because of the transition phase. Pero kung gugustuhin po talaga ng senators natin magpalit, wala pong prohibition yan sa Constitution. Okay? So ang masasabi ko lang po dyan, unang-una po, medyo alanganin pa kasi ang sabi ni Senator JV dito, around 5 of us ang aalis pero gusto nila maging independent, 'di ba? So pag independent po, hindi yan part ng minority or ng majority. So hindi yan kasama sa bilang ng Senate President. And then ang next scenario naman po natin, let's say 4 ang pumunta sa independent and then isa pumunta sa minority. So ang mangyayari, magkakaroon na ng 10 majority, 10 minority, and then 4 na independent. So ang question dyan, ano po ang magiging status doon ng Senate Presidency? So ang sagot po doon, wala rin pong magbabago sa Senate Presidency kasi hindi po nakuha ng minority yung majority vote na requirement. So ang mangyayari, magkakaroon lang po ng maintenance of the current status ng Senate leadership. So in other words po, in simpler terms, mareretain po ni Tito Sotto yung Senate Presidency kung maging 10 majority, 10 minority at 4 independent. Okay? And the reason po is because ang nakalagay specifically sa Constitution natin, so nasa Section 16, Paragraph 1 po yan ng Article 6 ng 1987 Constitution. Kung makikita po nyo dito, ang sabi, shall elect its president, the Senate shall elect its president by a majority vote of all its respective members. Okay? So when you say of all its respective members, majority po of the number 24. Diba? Kasi all the respective members of the Senate is the number 24. So ang magic number po is 13 para ma-elect ka as Senate President. So dun po sa mga diniscuss natin, kung let's say 10-10-4, wala pong change yun kasi yun nga, walang nakakuha nung majority number na 13 of all the members, di ba? And kung let's say naman 11 na yung maging minority tapos 10 pa lang din dun sa kabila, dun din po magkakaroon din ng problem kasi wala pa rin pong majority vote of all its respective members, di ba? So in other words po, ang point ko lang talaga dito, big deal talaga or malaking factor na itong 5 dapat sumama talaga dun sa minority para maging 14 na sila. So kung 14 sila tapos 10 yung kabila, ayun, may majority na po sila of all the respective members. Therefore, pwede na po palitan yung Senate President. Pero kung ganito pa lang na hindi sila magpo-fully commit, medyo alanganin pa because of the wording ng Constitution natin na majority vote of all its respective members. So yung babasihan nga po is the number 24, majority of the number 24 at hindi lang simple majority. Okay? So anyway, hopefully klaro po yan. So sa akin lang po personally, wala pong problema magpalit ng leadership basta ma-address lang sana yung mga concerns talaga ng people of the Philippines, of the taong bayan. Kasi kung titingnan po natin ngayon the way the Senate Blue Ribbon hearing is being conducted, parang may may partisan participation pa rin talaga, may politicking basically. Kasi pag sa Senate ngayon, puro na lang kapwa senadors yung mga tina-target. Kung ako po tatanungin, it's highly unlikely po, di ba, na walang congressmen involved. So parang unfair naman kung puro lang senators, hindi natin makikita yung full picture talaga ng mga bagay-bagay. Kasi yun nga, di ba, like what I've explained before, yung mga district congressmen po, yung may direct supervision ng mga districts nila, mga DPWH districts nila. So parang imposible na yung district congressman hindi in-implicate, pero ngayon sila Senator Joel, sila Senator Cheese, sila yung mga in-involved dun, di ba? And klaruhin ko lang po hindi ko sinasabing walang liability sila Senator Cheese, Senator Joel Villanueva, so on and so forth. Kung mapatunayan talaga later on na may involvement sila, may liability, wala pong problema doon. Dapat managot po talaga yung managot. Basta ang sa akin lang po, like what I've already explained before, dapat there should be an application of the Equal Protection Clause in relation sa pag-prosecute at pag-investigate nitong mga flood control anomalies kasi parang ang tina-target lang is yung mga opposition senators, di ba? Yun yung observation ko po as a political observant. Tingin ko naman po, isa akong reasonableng political observant di ba? So again, ang point ko po dito, hindi ko pinoprotektahan sila Senator Joel Villanueva, Senator Cheese Escudero. If it will be established later on that they had participation, then so be it. Pero dapat yung mga nasa House din po ay matingnan din ng maayos kasi yung House of Representatives po, di ba, yung una yung pinangalanan nga or minention na merong ilan yun, 60 plus na contractors. Bakit biglang parang nakalimutan na po yun, yung mga contractors naging na lang bigla, puro na lang senators yung inaatake. So the way I see it po ngayon, yung nangyayari is parang hindi patas or hindi equal yung investigation na gaganap. But again, I would just like to reiterate kasi sasabihin na naman yan, DDS lawyer ako. Kung may liability talaga sila Senator Cheese, wala pong problema doon. Pero dapat din po yung mga congressmen na pinangalanan or allegedly involved, maimbestigahan din ng maayos, di ba? Hindi lang puro senators yung pinupukpok because unfair po yun kung ako tatanungin, di ba? It does not address the full picture of the corruption issue. Ang nangyayari lang po dyan ngayon, parang nagkakaroon ng silencing of mga political opponents. Okay, yan po yung dating sa akin as a reasonable responsible political observant. Okay? So anyway po, hopefully klaro yan. Hanggang dyan lang po yung discussion natin. If you like more legal educational videos to current events, legal explainers to current events, subscribe lang po kayo sa YouTube channel ko. And until next time, see you all po. Bye-bye!